Hi, it's Anthony from okplay.com, and in this video I'm going to guide you through a new way that I found to use your existing wrist straps as a knuckle strap on your Quest 2. One of the most popular videos of mine is that you can use the wrist strap to create what I would like to think is a temporary solution of creating a wrist strap for free without any extra money needed. I'm going to link to the guide up here so you can click on that should you want to use that. But most of the people that I've watched have always had a problem with the strap. It's just a little bit too tight for them. Unless you've got very small hands, that solution is not really viable for you. So I do mention an alternative. Not many have covered this approach, so I thought I'd do a video as a follow-up to my previous one and tell you how to do it. So the only one accessory that you will need for this is either quite a short elastic band, a very good one as well, not one that's not going to snap under tension, or better, a hairband. So if you've got a sister, a mum, or a girlfriend that you can grab a hairband of, or anyone with long hair that uses hairbands, grab a hairband and use this. And it has to be quite fairly small one as well. So either one of these, I think preferably you would want to use a hairband. So I'm going to show you with that first on the right controller. So here's the controller as you would get it currently. You would use it as a wrist strap, and you want to turn this into a knuckle strap. So first things first, you need to remove the battery door by sliding it down and backwards. Get your nail or your finger into this little part here and lift the actual piece off. Next, we're going to create a loop around using the hairband. So what we're going to do, we're going to sort of bring it underneath and we're going to lasso it over the top. So this is the kind of loop that you want to create. And then by holding it down with your hands, you just want to pass the strap through so it sandwiches it and keeps it in touch. So that's the part that's going to make it longer for us. So here we've got the strap pointing downwards. And what's crucial is that we want to have this little slider a little bit further down. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass this part of the strap. So we've got a loop system here, we've got a loop here, and we've got a loop in the middle with this passing through it. We're going to grab this end here and we're going to start to make a journey through some open gaps here. So we're going to go through this gap here and then we're going to bring it out and then back up through this loop here, and then we're going to pull it slightly back. Now with this, you can now reinsert it back into that hole. It's going to be a bit tight, so let's give it all the slack we can give it. So we're going to slide this part at the top, so we've got to create lots of slack here. So this is the loosest that it can go, and we're going to put that module back in, make sure that this is actually fully over and not sticking out any further this way, and then we can slide this battery door back on so it's all inside the wrist strap holes there. And now we've got a very generous knuckle strap. So for me, this is too loose. So now we need to tighten it. And the reason why we're doing the loop overs, like down and under and back through again, is because we can reutilize this strap by pulling the top part further out to make it a little bit tighter. This is when you want to have it on the other side. So you want to move it across. So we can move it tighter, and then we pull the R plastic piece, slide it all the way up just to create some sort of friction and a bit of tension. This will be loose a little bit. You can't really get around that, but I've done it back over again just to keep everything together. And you could put some bound fabric around that if you wanted to. But that's not. The idea here is to do it for as little money as possible. And now that's perfect for me. That's now sitting in my hand. Yes, this is going to be quite uncomfortable compared to page straps, but now you've got the added tension of that small little bungee there, and it's not going to get in the way. So that's basically how you do the right controller. I'm going to quickly do the left controller now with the elastic band. So for the elastic band, it's exactly the same process, but you really need, and I emphasize this, you really need a heavy duty elastic band, because the last thing you want is this to snap and the controller to go flying across the room. So we're going to remove the battery door again. We've already taken the wrist strap off. Again, this little L slider, we push that down to the bottom side and we have that ready to go. Now we get the elastic band, move that over the top, well, at least underneath, and then just loop that over the top. And then we're going to pass, this is the tricky bit because the elastic band will want to sort of fight against you here, but we're bringing them out. And we're going to pass this little end through the loops, both of them, and have it coming out the top. So that's the strap going underneath. And then we've got to do the dive down through this middle loop here, back up through the smaller loop, and then we pull it tight. Now with the elastic band, because it's got a lot more friction, it's not going to be as forgiving to pass this through. So it's going to be a bit more harder. So we've got to give all the slack we can, and then we've got to pass that through the bottom side of the part of the bottom of the controller. So that's now in place. And again, making sure that this is sticking out the right section, and then we put the battery door back on. And now we position this where we want it on the left-hand side of the controller. Because it's so narrow, it's not going to really take or cover any of these sensors. Now we need to make sure that this is now tight enough for us. So this is, again, just a little bit too loose. So we need to pull this middle strap up again through the first loop that we dived down into, and then we pull that down just to reduce the amount of slack that's in the thing. And again, this rubber band is going to fight against you. So just bear in mind that you just got to feed it through, and then just pull that little lever, that little plastic piece back up, and then that is really, really tight for at least my hands. And don't worry about this bit, you can just pull that out so it's out the way, or as I said, you could just bound that with a bit of fabric and get it out of the way. But now you can see how much tension that elastic band is doing. That's why I say you need to have a really good elastic band. But this is a very cheap one. I'm sure that's going to snap at some point if I were to use these. So that's why I think you should get a hairband. It's a little bit nicer, and it's a little less friction on the sensor ring as well. So it adds to easy movement, so it fits your hand. Whereas elastic band is really going to stick where you place it on the sensor ring. So that's the two ways of doing the knuckle strap, with the hairband and with the elastic band, and they are a really perfect way to do the knuckle straps for free, minus the cost of a hairband or elastic band, of course. All right, I hope you found this helpful. If it has, leave us a like down below and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or tips on improving this method of attaching these straps as knuckle straps. You can check out all my other guides up in this playlist here. Hit the subscribe button down below to catch all my future content, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.